shows that first aired 12 months or more ago. We were up to Game of Thrones, Season 7, Episode 5, Eastwatch. So let's pick up right where we left off. The episode opens with Jaime and Bran emerging from the lake that sort of appeared out of nowhere. It was sort of weird, shallow water that they were running across. I mean, like, charging across with their horse in the previous episode towards Dany and Drogon. But now it's deep enough for them to sort of, I guess, dive under. Bit of a weird body of water, that one. A lot of people had a problem with this scene because they rightly questioned why Dany or Drogon would allow them to get away when the literal smouldering remains of her attack are 20 feet away. Like, she definitely should have finished the job. And, you know, how did Jaime not sink to the bottom of the puddle / lake in all of his armor? So it's a bit of a weird scene, but I guess if you're being picky, that's when it starts to not make much sense. I mean, we are talking about a show with dragons here, so. Bran asks Jaime what he thought he was doing. We noted in the previous episode that, you know, Jaime just wanted to end the war. He saw an opportunity, and so he was going to take it. Bit of a, a hot-headed move, so probably not the best action he could have taken. You know, then Jaime and Bran keep discussing, you know, Dany's attack and her dragons. Jaime says that was only one of them, she has 2 more. And when Nikolai delivers this line, you can see the seriousness and like the terror in his face, his portrayal of Jaime. And I really like Nikolai as an actor. I think he does a brilliant job. And in some of even these smaller lines, just like, that was only one of them, she has 2 more. You know, it doesn't have to be a massive monologue or a soliloquy. It can just be something simple like that. And Bran reveals that once the dragons come back into the war and play a bigger part, he doesn't intend to stick around. He is a mercenary, but would any amount of gold really convince him to stay and fight for the Lannisters versus 2 mythical and destructive forces that are the dragons? But you never know, we might see that he has developed some sense of loyalty to Jaime or Tyrion despite his supposed sole interest in gold. It would be cliched but welcome character development for Bran to stick by the Lannisters even versus such formidable foes, but you know, it's a little too fairy tale, so we might just see him be true to his word and bail when the dragons come into it a bit more. We have a short scene of Tyrion making his way through the ashen fields with the shriveled corpses of the Lannister soldiers around him. And even though they're technically his enemies, he still seems remorseful and disappointed that all these lives were taken, which I think is classic Tyrion. He would much prefer to settle things politically and with a dialogue rather than resort to violence and killing all the time. You know, he just wants to love and to drink. So fighting always seems like it upsets him. He then rejoins the group of Dany and the Lannister soldiers and Randall and Dickon Tarly. Dany delivers yet another dull monologue about destroying the wheel and, remaking it in her image and not being another Cersei, and offers the men the choice of bending the knee or dying. Drogon forces a majority of the men to their knees, but Randall and Dickon Tarly remain standing among a few other red shirts. Bit questionable since, they were originally on the side of Highgarden and the Tyrells, and they haven't really been with Cersei for that long, but now they're willing to lay down their life and die for the Lannisters when they could just bend the knee, which clearly they're not opposed to doing. It's just a really weird time to sort of grow a backbone, and it might just be me, but I thought I could see some disappointment in Randall's face when Dickon refuses. Of course, he begrudgingly stands by his side, and I believe they die hand in hand. But there was definitely some sort of disappointment there, for sure. And Tyrion desperately tries to have Dany spare the men's lives, offering to send them to the wall or to be locked in a dungeon. But Dany realizes if she offers that, then many will take it. She doesn't want prisoners, she wants people to accept her. Which, is it truly being accepted if the alternative is dying? But I can sort of see a point. She doesn't want to, prisoners no good to her. She wants either dead men or quote unquote loyal men. And in saying that, she does seem somewhat disappointed that she had to make examples of the Tarlys. She's not quite as righteous and indignant as she normally is. You can hear it in her voice and see, her eyelids droop a little bit with, melancholy, I guess. Fortunately, this act of burning the Tarlys does succeed in making the rest of the men bend the knee, so, a tough choice that worked out for her in the long run. It was a shame to see Dickon die because, I don't know, I felt like there was a lot more for him that he could have done plot-wise. Sort of seems to happen with a lot of characters on this show. They get developed slightly more than normal. So it sort of fools you into thinking that there might be more to their character, but then, dead. So then we cut back to King's Landing with Cersei and Jaime. Cersei has already heard of the battle, but doesn't seem too worried. She believes her gold and her crown can win her the war alone by hiring more mercenaries, but Jaime knows better. The Dothraki killed their men for sport. They'll beat any army. Qyburn's scorpion couldn't do anything to one dragon, and she has 3 of them. This isn't a war we can win. So there's finally someone in King's Landing that's talking some sense. And, Jaime and Nikolai really sells it. He's trying desperately to convince her that this is not something that you can just brute force. The dragons are just, they're too strong, too much for some men and some wooden toothpick launchers, and you can actually sort of see Jaime begin to get frustrated and finally tire of Cersei's nonsense and her, willful ignorance. So that's good to see. It's sort of seeing the phrase around their relationship now. He also had no reason to correct Cersei about Tyrion not killing Joffrey, unless he had some attachment still for his little brother. Because why would he bother telling Cersei that Olenna did it? When she was already dead, Olenna was already dead. He wouldn't want to do a favour for Olenna. So he only served to get himself in trouble with Cersei for wanting to give Olenna a painless death. So it was an interesting interaction to watch, but it made very little sense for Jaime to do that until you That's the only benefit. I guess Cersei might feel better knowing the truth, but I don't think she'd really care at this point because it wouldn't bring anyone back, and Olenna still is dead, so yeah. I like to think that it was just a move to defend his little brother somewhat. We cut to Jon and Dany and Drogon, and in this scene I noticed that the CGI for Drogon is very high quality. Like they have a bunch of tiny little details that really sell it. For example, the tiny small fangs in the lower parts of his gums, which might be because we haven't had a really slow close-up view of the dragon's mouth before. They're usually like flying or breathing fire or eating or roaring. But Drogon in this scene was kind of just chilling as Jon approaches. We have a pretty iconic moment for Jon, who is finally face to face and within arm's reach of Dany's largest dragon. Most believe that Drogon can sense Targaryen blood in him, and previously, the two dragons, Rhaegar and what's the other one called? Viserion, allowing Tyrion to free them. A lot of people like to theorize that they could also sense Targaryen blood within Tyrion. If you follow that theory, I don't really subscribe to the theory that Tyrion is a secret Targaryen, but I like to think that the dragons can just sense innate goodness, I guess. It's just less complicated and a bit easier to believe in, a bit less cheesy. We have a close-up shot of Drogon's eye, which makes him actually seem kind of gentle for the first time ever in the show. I guess excluding when they were little babies. But the dragons I've always had a respect for, but I've never really been soft for them, had a special place for them or anything. Just a sort of terrified respect. But they really do, Drogon really does seem gentle and appealing, likable in this scene. And Dany says, actually, they're not beasts to me, no matter how big or terrifying, they've always been my children. And you know what, it's her relationship with her dragons, always calling them her children. It's never been really powerful, the way I've seen it. It's more akin to a crazy cat lady who has no actual children, but probably just also calls her cats her children, I don't know, I get that she has a connection with them that I could never feel because, it's a fictional character obviously, but also they're not my pets, and I haven't had a pet in a long time, so maybe I don't quite, I can't quite imagine that relationship, but I don't know, she's always been too weird about them, calling them her children. Actually, this line is kind of the cue for Dany's inability to have real children to start being brought up more and more often, as we are likely to see something to that end within the next few episodes or the next season. So we can expect to hear a lot about how she was told she is barren and that the dragons are the only children she'll ever have and all this nonsense. Dany once again questions Jon about Davos saying, talking about how he took a knife to the heart, and again he brushes it off. I don't really know why that line is so important to her. If, I guess, after having it brushed off 2 times, my curiosity would be piqued, but I wouldn't have been curious enough about it to start the first time, it could have just been a saying. But then I guess I'm not really one to push subjects and get my own way like Dany is. And it'd actually be kind of lame if it's written that she only starts to respect him after she learns that he actually died and was resurrected. Because it's like, he should be able to earn her respect and her trust of his own merit, and not because some higher power resurrected him from a betrayal and a death. Jorah Mormont finally returns again to serve Dany, so it'll be interesting to see how long he sticks around this time before being banished or sent off or injured, you know. And all jokes aside about, Jon and Dany and Jorah, Jon really does look a little miffed at the extended hug that Dany gives Jorah, because of course Jorah is this stranger to Jon, and here's this girl that she may have started developing affections for, and now she's hugging this grizzled older man, and it's quite a long hug. And there's sort of not an inch of the pleasantry left that he had a minute ago in his face. So, a funny little moment there. We have a short scene where Bran walks into a crow to scope out the army of the White Walkers. It's the first interesting thing that Bran does all season, and we're 5 episodes in out of a 7-episode season. So, at this point, Bran's whole character really bothers me, but I think I've mentioned that, so I won't really get into it again. He does actually decide to send ravens with a warning to the Citadel, which at least gives us an excuse to check up on Sam and the Archmaester. Meanwhile in the Citadel, the Maesters are discussing the legitimacy of Bran's raven. They believe it's more likely to be a ploy by the Dragon Queen to open up the southern lands for easier conquest. But that doesn't really make sense to me. Why would the Dragon Queen send letters to the Citadel? What would the Citadel do about it? Why would they care? They don't actually have any oaths to any particular house, and seem for the most part to try and keep out of politics. So I kind of question their line of thinking there. It's a very, very roundabout way to try and plot against King's Landing. I don't really understand that sort of conclusion myself. One of the Maesters mentions Lodus, who was an Ironborn who believed that the drowned god would rise up and defeat Aegon the Conqueror, which could be foreshadowing Euron, the Ironborn, who in the books has some dark magical abilities, giving Dany, relative of Aegon the Conqueror, and her allies a difficult time. It's just mentioned in passing, and it's something I picked up either on the subreddit or sort of another Game of Thrones theory video that I watch. They always give some interesting extra information the show doesn't really give, and the books probably have, but I'm not going to be able to find them in 5, 6, 7,000 odd words, so it's always nice to have sort of that information presented in relation to each scene in the TV show. Naturally, none of the Maesters truly believe the Raven, and they also reveal they know about Sam's brother and father being burned alive, but choose to say nothing to him. Seems like he would be easily able to find out in a place where information is basically their currency, and So we cut back to Tyrion and Varys, and unfortunately Tyrion is taking it quite personally that he couldn't prevent the deaths of all the Lannister soldiers and the Tarlys. And he tries to justify Dany's actions and tries to justify his inability to stop her. But at the end of the day, he definitely blames himself. And Varys can relate. It's the relationship between Varys and Tyrion is one of the more interesting ones on the show. Since they're both very intelligent and have suffered a great deal at the hands of, rich and powerful families, Tyrion his own. But Varys sort of doesn't let Tyrion wallow in his self-pity. He says he needs to take action, needs to find a way to make Dany listen, so that they may both prevent a second coming of a mad Targaryen ruler. There's a cute little moment. Tyrion inquires about the scroll that Varys holds for Jon. He's like, "Did you read it?" Varys says, "It's a sealed scroll for the king in the north. Like, don't be ridiculous." Tyrion says, drinking his wine, "What's it say?" Varys says, "Nothing good." I really like that little exchange. So back in the Dragonstone war room, I guess you'd call it, Jon learns that Arya and Bran are alive. Dany remarks that he doesn't look too happy to hear that, and Jon claims it's because Bran has seen the Night King and his army marching toward the wall, which for the most part it is, but on some level he's also probably worried for the children of his family that he hasn't had to worry about in years. It's only been himself and his adult sister, and basically that's it. He didn't have to worry about anyone else. But having the youngest kids come back into his life in the middle of 2 wars must be supremely stressful. And in fact, it makes him determined to leave now for the wall and fight the walkers with what little army they have. But luckily Tyrion hatches a plan to make Cersei believe in the threat of the White Walkers. The plan, it's pretty obvious, to capture a single white and present it to her and all of King's Landing so that the living armies may unite against the dead. Easier said than done, though. So they enlist Davos to smuggle them into King's Landing, to have a meeting with Jaime, who may convince Cersei to parley with the others. Jorah, of course, volunteers to go north to take a white. The dude's been back for a total of 1 day, and he's already keen to be on his way out again, anything for the princess. What a suck-up. When Jon also volunteers to go north with the wildlings, and Jorah, you can see Dany's breath quicken and sort of get caught in her throat. You can sort of see, a real negative reaction to that. It's very subtle, but you can see it, which props to the actor whose name escapes me, Emilia Clarke. Is it Emilia Clarke? I think it's Emilia. Which, props to Emilia's acting there, being able to get those physiological reactions down pat. It's a touching sentiment, but it seems to me a little bit quick for her to care that much about Jon. It sort of makes me question, is this seriously just because he patted her dragon and Drogon was so friendly towards him? And even Jorah watches for her reaction. But despite what she would like, the plan is decided, and to me it kind of seemed like a dumb plan. They know the army is moving towards them and scaring the entire north for 1 white. Yeah, it's pretty preposterous, it's pretty far-fetched. When are you ever going to find 1 white just by itself? You're always going to fight either the entire army or some sort of like raiding party, which should have like, you know, a big bad dude in charge, so good luck with that. Like, they know they're gonna have to fight and stuff, which I guess is why they send so many, but I don't know. It just doesn't seem like it seems like the most obvious plan, but not the best plan. Back in Winterfell, Arya witnesses the Northmen getting rowdy and, in her eyes, insulting Jon while Sansa sits there and listened. But honestly, I'm kind of with Sansa here. There's not really much else she can do. Listening just seemed to be the best course of action here, so while I don't always agree with her and get sick of her whining, you know, she did the right thing here. And everything in Winterfell from here onwards is just Arya antagonizing Sansa unfairly, building some fake tension for the audience. They want us to believe that Arya is out to get Sansa, but she's smarter than that, so, you know, there's no benefits for her killing her own sister, and she doesn't want to be Lady of Winterfell. And we know that as an audience, so this whole relationship between Arya and Sansa this season in Winterfell was pretty... it wasn't that interesting to watch. And if indeed the whole thing was a plot for an upcoming episode, well, I don't think it was particularly well written, but we can talk about that more when we get there. So we have a bit of a flash forward, I guess, not a flash forward, but a jump in time, because we see that Tyrion and Davos have arrived in King's Landing, which I can see why a lot of viewers were mad at the amount of fast travel this season, but let's face it, the show doesn't really have time to appropriately stretch things out anymore. After it took 6 seasons for Dany to get from Essos to Westeros, and let's also face it, no one wants to see seasons and seasons of people just travelling to get to their destinations to move the plot forward, so I, for one, can look past the teleportation speed of travel that we have to deal with now. So previously I mentioned that Davos' son was killed in the Battle of the Blackwater by Tyrion's wildfire plan, and that he always bites his tongue. However, he finally mentions it here after Tyrion mentions killing his own father the last time he was here. But Davos doesn't really say it spitefully, just matter-of-factly. You know, still keeping the big picture inside that, you know, temporary alliances for the good of the world, I guess, for the good of the kingdom, the realm. Keeps the big picture inside. And when Davos said he had his own business to attend to in Flea Bottom, I realised he was going to pick up Gendry, which I only knew because a stupid clickbait article on Facebook was titled, "Did IMDb just spoil the return of this long-forgotten character with this giant picture of Gendry?" So, yeah, maybe IMDb did spoil it for people who look up Game of Thrones episodes on IMDb, but that particular Facebook page definitely did, and definitely spoiled it for a whole lot more people, I'd say. So, you know, thanks for that, stupid clickbait articles on Facebook, much appreciated. It would have been a much more pivotal and, like, wow moment when Gendry was finally on screen again, had I not known that it was going to happen because of, yeah, spoilers. I like having things spoiled for me in some movies, but not Game of Thrones. Never Game of Thrones, you know. So Tyrion makes his way with a little help from Bran to one of the dragon sort of dens, dungeons, in King's Landing to meet with Jaime, which is the first time the two actually speak since Jaime freed him and Tyrion father, so it's going to be a little tense, a little awkward. I do love the scenes between Tyrion and Jaime because both of them are phenomenal actors, and you actually, like, you're not really on either of their sides when they argue, like now in these episodes, because you can understand both sides, and both Jaime and Tyrion, while they're on opposite sides of the war, you like them both. Well, I like them both, and I can relate to both of them, so please be good to my Lannister boys. Tyrion tells Jaime that Dany will win the war, and Jaime, although he doesn't say it out loud, also believes this. He definitely doesn't want to fight dragons no matter what. And Tyrion gets to make the request for parley. Meanwhile, in Flea Bottom, Davos approaches a blacksmith, and we see Gendry for the first time in a few seasons. I think it's 3 to 4, I'm not too sure when the last time we saw Gendry was. Again, I saw people complaining that Davos's line, "Thought you might still be rowing," was pandering to the audience and a little too fanfiction-y, since Davos would have no way of knowing how long Gendry was actually rowing, and he wouldn't know that we wouldn't see him again for 3 to 4 seasons, so a few years in their time. But personally, I had no issue with the line. I thought it was just funny and like a bit of banter between friends, and a little bit meta, and there's nothing wrong with that. There's a little interaction while Davos is explaining what he came for, and Gendry says, "You came to get me, you want me to come with you?" Davos begins to monologue the thing that you should understand is, and Gendry cuts him off with, "I'm ready, let's go." Again, other viewers mentioned that this episode has a few instances of characters being impatient and cutting other characters off when it looks like they're about to devolve into a big monologue. And personally, again, I don't see a problem with it because it does serve two purposes. Well, one, it adds a little bit of comedic relief to an otherwise tense and straightforward and urgent scene. And it fast forwards through many of the similar monologues we get each season trying to rally a group of allies through a tough time. We are, 7 seasons in out of 8. We don't need any more inspiring, prideful, honourable monologues to rally together anymore. People just want action, both the characters and the audience, so we're good. You can keep cutting off monologues for all I'm concerned, especially Dany's. If we could cut out a few Dany monologues here and there, even just her giving herself her titles, I would call a monologue at this point. That would be super. Gendry actually wields a warhammer, which was seen in many trailers, and there's a pretty famous leak of a shot of a few guys on a beach. One was fighting with a warhammer. It was the weapon of choice, interestingly, for Robert Baratheon, who was Gendry's father, and Gendry's hammer is also emblazoned with a stag insignia. It looks well made and dangerous, so hopefully we get to see him crush some skulls. So Gendry, Davos and Tyrion all make their way back to the beach to leave King's Landing. And this is actually the scene where the scene itself wasn't leaked, but there were photos of filming the scene that were leaked that I saw, and actually a little video if I remember correctly, so it was cool to see. So it was tense, it was gory, it was humorous, and it was short, so there wasn't anything wrong with this scene. I liked this scene, everything about it was well written. And seeing Davos doing what he does best, like being deceitful and smuggling, it was a good time. And of course Gendry does indeed wield the hammer well, and uses its weight perfectly to chain together attacks, which for someone of such a small build is pretty impressive. It's just too bad that the practical effect on the guard's face that is struck by the hammer is literally just like someone getting a glob of raspberry jam and just going. Like, if you go back and look at that scene and look at the dude's face, it doesn't look smashed in, it just looks like a dude with jam on his face, so that was a bit weird. I feel like they could have CGI'd that, or done, gone to a bit more effort for it. It looked weird. But back in King's Landing, Jaime approaches Cersei and sees that Qyburn was with her, and as soon as he asks why Qyburn was with Cersei, I was like, she's pregnant. He was checking her out, I know it. Which she soon reveals that she is, of course. And Jaime reveals that he met with Tyrion and relays the information about Dany wanting to parley. Cersei knew the whole time the meeting was taking place, but did nothing to stop it, and she now also wants Jaime to punish Bronn for betraying him. So with Cersei, everything is either complete loyalty to her or complete betrayal. There's no sort of in-between grey area like neutral actions. It's either for her or against her. Even with someone who has clearly made a decision for what side he's on, i.e. Bronn and Jaime, I guess. She does agree to allow the parley to happen, but only because she plots to attack Dany and her allies when they let their guard down, which, didn't really work out so well for House Frey in the long run, but I guess history is doomed to repeat itself if no one learns from it. And, here's some more evidence of Cersei being a toxic, manipulative partner to Jaime. After revealing she's pregnant, she embraces Jaime before demanding he never betray her again, which was pretty threatening if you ask me. Kind of extortion, kind of abusive, yeah, unpleasant. And she really took advantage of a tender moment. Which, I'm glad that they actually show things like this, like, Jaime isn't just deciding to, break faith with Cersei because, she's the antagonist in a fairy tale. He doesn't see that she's the bad guy. He starts to feel that she is abusive and manipulative and not a good partner. Like in things apart from the war that he wants her to win, when she starts treating him terribly, just as terribly as she treats everyone else. That's why he leaves. He's not just suddenly a good guy who leaves because he wants the good guys to win in this war. He leaves because it's an unhealthy relationship and he needs to take care of himself, the poor fella. But Davos, Gendry and Tyrion return to Dragonstone, and Gendry and Jon have a bit of banter that resembles that of Ned and Robert in Season 1. And this is kind of the thing that I'm talking about when I mentioned that they could make parallels between seasons without repeating exact conversations. This was more of a subtle callback without outright, blatantly repeating lines from earlier seasons. I think, what does he say? I think Jon says, I thought you'd be fatter or something, and Gendry says, thought you'd be taller. And they both say it with a serious face, and then burst out into laughter. It's not exactly what Rob and Ned would say, but the actions and the hearts were in the right place, in the same place. I have noticed, though, that Gendry, so far in this season, this episode, is written a bit more hyperactive and excitable and childlike and kind of impatient. Whereas earlier Gendry, because I sort of rewatched the earlier seasons recently, it was a lot more level-headed and put together and well-spoken and just calm. So it's a bit, I guess it's character development, like he's been waiting years for some sort of opportunity avenge his father, and now it's, almost there, it's within reach, so I guess he'd be a little excited, but I guess when you binge watch it like I did, it was a little jarring. So the group prepares to leave Dragonstone for the north in order to march beyond the wall. Tyrion and Dany and Davos are seeing Jorah and Jon and Gendry off, and many believe that Tyrion returning the slavers coin to Jorah was essentially a kiss of death, like a bad omen, meaning that, they believed Jorah would probably die in the expedition beyond the wall. It would have been a bit obvious, but still sort of an interesting symbol. I like the interactions between these characters that haven't really had much to do with each other for seasons and seasons, especially because the whole saga with Tyrion and Jorah and the fighting pits, that was actually kind of a really interesting arc that I enjoyed watching. Dany mentions to Jorah that they really should be better at saying goodbye, and I agree. Can we please stop having Jorah and Dany reunions only to send him away again immediately? Like, either stop reuniting them or stop immediately sending him away. I would be happy with either at this point. We have a short scene of Sam and Gilly, and aside from some more light comedic relief, there is some interesting dialogue in this scene. While Gilly is, reading poorly from a book that reveals that Rhaegar Targaryen had his marriage to Elia Martell annulled so that he may marry another in secret. And this, of course, is referring to his marriage and child with Lyanna Stark, Jon's mother, which officially confirms that Jon Snow is not a bastard, but a true-born Targaryen with a claim to the Iron Throne, a claim that is stronger than Dany's, who, by the way, is now officially his aunt. So now I'm a little more against the relationship. I don't know, I know we've had an incestuous relationship on screen in the show before, but it was kind of with the bad guys, so you're kind of like, ooh, of course the bad guys do gross things, but you don't really want to see the good guys doing icky things. At least they're not brother and sister, I guess. And as a result of a disappointing stay at the Citadel, Sam steals as many books as he thinks helpful and leaves the Citadel with Gilly. I'm going to assume he's headed to Winterfell, which, he might just make by the end of the season. Speaking of Winterfell, Arya stalks Littlefinger, who is seen doing some shady dealings as usual. She breaks into his room and eventually finds the letter that Sansa wrote under duress to her brother Robb, telling him to bend the knee to Joffrey, which I think was like a season 2 thing. Again, luckily I had rewatched the show to sort of remember where the letter came into it. This, of course, causes more tension between the sisters as Arya believes Sansa betrayed their family, but Littlefinger knows that Arya has been stalking him and is pleased. It seems, his plan is back on track. And we have that infamous Littlefinger-like behind-the-wall half-peeper thing that he does that's in all the trailers. I've been waiting for that all season. He's such a weaselly dude. There's some more bickering between the sisters, and, as I said, nothing in Winterfell is particularly interesting, so we'll move right along. Now we make a pretty big jump to Eastwatch, where we finally get some more Tormund, which is always a delight, hearing from Tormund. And while I don't necessarily ship Tormund and Brienne, or want them together, whenever he mentions her or they share a look, it's always pretty amusing. I wouldn't care either way if they did get together or if they didn't. But I like the drama that he stirs up between them. imprisoned in the dungeon of Eastwatch, which leads to some very unique interactions and relationships. So we have Jorah and Thoros fought together at Pike, which I believe is more fleshed out in the books, the Battle of Pike. Tormund despises Jorah due to Jorah Mormont hunting the wildlings with the Night's Watch. Gendry hates Thoros and Beric for selling him to Melisandre, whom Davos saved him from. The Hound has killed Beric before he was resurrected by Thoros. Jon recognises the Hound from Winterfell in the first season, and yeah, some pretty complicated, intricate ties between the characters there, but it's interesting to see. A band of unlikely heroes, all of whom I have grown very much attached to, so naturally I'm expecting them all to be killed off before this series ends. Beric and Jorah's voices are fantastic. I noticed that mostly in this scene they're very, very gravelly and deep. Yeah, that's about all I have to say about that. I just really appreciate a very rich, gravelly voice. And another instance of the aforementioned impatience in the characters, as the Hound cuts off Beric while he attempts to make a rallying speech. But at least with the Hound, it's pretty in character. He doesn't put up with it. He's just like, yeah, come on, let's get on with it. And I guess Jon puts it the most accurately and bluntly. We're all on the same side. We're all breathing. Should be there, team breathing or something. That should be their flag, their house breathing. So the Fellowship approaches the gate, which is easily the best shot in the season, in my opinion. The slow pan between the 7 main characters as they march into the blizzard ahead, with a few red shirts behind. The impending doom, the soundtrack, raising crescendos. Very, very, very well shot. And I actually got chills watching that. I always love it when there's just a group of unlikely allies that all start to work together and band together. And I'm such a sap for teamwork and overcoming odds. Especially when the story that's told is this good and that I'm invested in all of these characters. So yeah, I really like this part. So that was Game of Thrones Season 7, Episode 5, Eastwatch. Overall, I think this was probably my second favourite episode of the season. Or maybe my favourite episode that wasn't sort of action-oriented, no big battles took place. In this one, it was all sort of aftermath and building up to the next one. So I'm pretty happy to say that's second favourite, or favourite non-action episode. Just how much hype was built for the journey beyond the wall with this massive group of characters that we all really like. All of these characters finally meeting or reuniting or hearing that they're still alive in the case of, the Stark children. And all of the dialogue, aside from everything in Winterfell, was pretty interesting. Out some little factoids, little interesting nuggets. So it pumped me up for the next episode so much. Again, it's just a shame that Winterfell is just the most boring place in Westeros right now, and that they keep going back there for very little reason. But that wraps up this episode of A Whisper of Ice and Fire. We have 2 more episodes left. Hopefully I get them out before the new season starts in 2019. But yeah, we're almost done, so it shouldn't take too long. Thank you for joining me for another Game of Thrones Whispered discussion.